Welcome back, class. We are entering week two of parentification of children in grieving families. Thank you for returning. This week, we're going to discuss the two different types of parentification. So, as you saw in your readings, we have two different types. The first would be the instrumental type. Let's go over that one. Instrumental parentification is identified more as the physical side of parentification. It is the act of doing. So it is a child taking over financial responsibilities of the home and knowing and understanding the financial situation of the family. And that could be anything from being responsible. Let's give an example here. A child not asking for something or understanding that they wouldn't be able to do certain things with the family. Let me give you a concrete example here. Parents are out shopping. One of the instrumental parentifications of shopping is that the child picks out everything that needs to be purchased for that week in order to feed the family. But beyond that, the child understands that we're not having a more expensive meal every night of the week. They are going to choose items that are on the lower end financially. Maybe they, instead of having shrimp and steak, they're going to look for hamburgers and mac and cheese. But it's the understanding that the financial situation in which the family is experiencing. So that's just one example. Another example of instrumental parentification would be child is responsible for either waking themselves up and getting ready for school or waking up their siblings and getting them through their morning routine, providing breakfast, preparing breakfast, making sure that everybody's out on time, and then maybe even waking the parents up for work. That is part of the instrumental parentification. It's folding the laundry, it's doing the laundry, it's giving baths either to themselves and or to their siblings. It's reminding a parent that they need to bathe. There are multiple daily tasks, let's call that the daily tasks. It could even include in a very subtle way, a parent allowing or forcing a child to choose a family vacation, putting that responsibility on the child instead of taking that responsibility on themselves. So instrumental parentification can take on many different views, many different aspects. In addition to which it is, as the child gets older, hopefully working within the legal parameters of working permits, it would be a teenager going to work. Now, this is not, and let me be clear, it is not a child choosing to work because they're saving up for driving lessons or they're saving for their first car. That is within the normal range of age-appropriate behavior. This would be inappropriate behavior. This would be a parent saying, "Go out and mow lawns. The family needs the money. You need to because I can't work or I don't want to work." It also would be, babysit. It's a form of work. Babysit even the siblings while I go out. What it would not, another case of it not being parentification would be if the family is doing the best that they can, meaning parent, guardian, mom, dad, they're doing the absolute best that they can, but they cannot support the family. And the child decides, yes, it's time for me to go out and help support the family, not for my own benefit, meaning I'm not building a savings account or I'm not saving for my car, but I am putting food on the table. That could slide into parentification, instrumental parentification, but it really is just a family coming together and doing the best that they can. The other parentification is the emotional parentification. It's the other type. This type can be very detrimental and appears to or seems to have more longer, lifelong, lasting effects. So emotional parentification would show up as a parent being unable to self-soothe. They need support. They need a confidence builder, and they anticipate that their child will fill that role. This does often happen through divorce. Okay, when parents split and the custodial parent or the parent, actually both parents, in front of the child discusses the divorce and discusses their emotional state. That's just inappropriate, and that parentifies the child because it puts the child in a position where they feel that they need to support and supplement the parent's emotions. One of the key things about parentification it is that it is usually not demanded. It is usually that there is a void in the parent's lifestyles, and the child feels the need to fill that void. It is hardly demanded of the child, although that is possible. Another form of emotional parentification is, or another cause of emotional parentification is the mental status, the mental health status of the parent. If they are incapable of maintaining their own mental health, then they do not understand or do not have the capacity to support the emotional needs of their child. And then the child will go on and look for emotional support for themselves. They'll learn how to self-soothe, or they will look for it in other places. Another thing that often happens is through stress, either loss of a job, stress on the job. Parent brings that home, and then the child feels that they need to guide their parents through that certain situation. This is the emotional parentification of a child. In addition to, I have seen parents ask their children why. Why do you love daddy more? Why do you want to be with mommy? Why don't you want to be with me? Those are questions that we really shouldn't be placing on our children. Those are adult issues. Those need to be handled between the adults and not placed on the shoulders of the children. That's the emotional parentification. So the videos that we had this week clearly and extensively discuss both emotional and instrumental parentification. And while we're just briefly discussing it here now, you had some excellent readings this week. So I ask that you take a moment and look back at your prior knowledge and then what you learned either from this quick video or from your YouTube videos that were assigned and your readings, and compare. Just sit here and kind of process the new information. Take a moment and kind of just sit with it for a few minutes because it is a lot. Let me make another distinction. There is a big difference between age-appropriate chores and the assignment of chores for skill building, life skills, and the parentification, instrumental parentification. Assigning a child to straighten up their room, or teaching a child how to do the dishes, or sharing in that task where a parent washes the dishes and a child dries them or puts them away, or teaching a child how to do their own laundry at an age-appropriate time. That's skill building. That is not parentification. Having your child take care of you when you're sick, that is not parentification. That is a caring, loving child filling a void, yes, but it is temporary. It is not an expectation that will be long-lasting. Having your child comfort you, cuddle up with you when they see that you're sad, that is not parentification. That is an empathetic, loving child showing their parent support. If it does not last, if it is not long-term, it cannot qualify as parentification. All right, as we move forward into next week, we will be looking at theory, research, and treatment of parentification. I'm kind of excited about that. I hope it gets your interest and piques new interest in research. If you have any questions regarding this week's work or what's upcoming, please don't hesitate to either contact me or your professor with any questions. Again, our information is in your syllabus, and I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming weeks. Thank you.